Just saw it, right? Jake Paul defeated Julio Caesar Chavez Jr. Just from a fighter's perspective, what'd you see in that?
I mean, truth be told, I thought Chavez was going to bring a lot more pressure to the game. I thought he'll let his hands go much more. But Jake was impressive. Surprisingly, he was impressive. He's definitely improving. He got a good team with him. They're working on some things. But, to become an elite fighter, it's like, bro, it's miles away from where, they can comprehend. You feel me? And so I'm just watching the evolution. You know what I mean? But I see a lot of things from my optics. Every time I, break it down, I'm not being critical. I'm just telling you the truth. You know what I mean? His jab looked good today, but he knew the guy wasn't throwing nothing back. So when you letting your hands go and you know nothing's coming back, you kind of get comfortable. So when you're going up against better fighters, they not only gonna let their hands go, but when you throw yours, they coming back with something. So, Chavez didn't bring that to the game. He didn't bring that to the table. But Jake looked good tonight. The body work was good. But what I liked was his composure. He didn't get wild. He didn't get out of control, swinging wild and just fighting. He stayed composed. He stayed in his form. And that is evolution in the boxing game. He was more technical than that. So I was impressed with what I saw.
If that was Canelo in there, like it was supposed to be.
How could it be Canelo? How could it have been Canelo, bro? Think about that.
No,
Canelo is undisputed. How could it have been Canelo? Everybody talk, everybody say a lot of things, and we know that's their job to promote. You know what I mean? So when you speak on his, they bring names together. So that's how people stay relevant. You know what I mean? But it was a good overall successful night because we had some devastating knockouts. We had some upsets. You feel me? And all that makes for a good night of boxing.
Yeah, Floyd Schofield looked good.
Yeah, he showed out tonight, man. He stepped up. But I knew that was possible because if Tevin Former didn't get out the first 2 or 3 rounds, he would never allow himself to get in the fight. And the boy came out, every punch he threw landed. It seemed like, with Kid Austin. Every punch, and especially the knockouts, bing, bing. Perfect timing. And so he grew tonight. And I'm glad he put all of that behind him. He was a little emotional, but Kid got a big heart. Man, I was glad to see them win like they won tonight.
Yeah, just a couple on some boxing coming up, man. Manny Pacquiao's coming back at 46 years old.
Back.
Fighting Barrios. Barrios told me that it was after his last performance against Ramos that Pacquiao's team called him. So obviously they saw something. Barrios didn't look spectacular right in that fight, but I mean, Manny is 46 years old, right? Hasn't fought in 4 years, lost that fight.
Yeah, man,
how does it play out in the ring?
I won the title at 42, but I wasn't coming off no losses. You feel me? And I looked impressive in my fights leading up to that. From what I saw, Manny hasn't looked impressive in his life. And then he's been out the ring so long. You know what I mean? So I don't know if this is just giving Manny one last hurrah. You know what I mean? Giving Manny Pacquiao one last hurrah, because of everything he's given to the game. So it looks like it's one of those type of things. And then when you see Manny talking about if he wins, he's going to fight this guy and that guy, it just looked, a little bit too much, overblowing it a little bit. You got to take one fight at a time. And didn't look really great your last fight against an MMA fight. You wasn't even in there with a boxer. But, I'm a Manny Pacquiao fan, bro, and the one thing I don't want to see is this man get hurt this late in the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's taking a lot of punches over his career. So the most important person in that fight going to be the referee.
Right, no, 100%. Last one, man. I'm sure we've talked about this before. Crawford and Canelo.
Bud County.
You're a fighter who's moved up right in weight and won fights. Like, so what is it that, like, what questions in your mind as the smaller fighter moving up and in the ring are you trying to ask yourself in the ring? Like, what questions are you kind of like?
No, bro, I know Crawford, and he's different. And see, the only thing different here is Canelo is not a bigger guy at that weight. He's not like he's standing 6'1", 6'2" like Bivol. or one of those guys. So on fight night, the size is not going to be the main thing, the most important thing. It's going to be skill set. And both of them coming with their skill set. But what I haven't seen lately is the opponents that Canelo is facing, those guys aren't going to get him ready for a guy like Crawford. So Canelo is going to have to go back to that grinding, turn back the hands of times too. Because if he show up like he did against Skull, he show up like he did against Benavidez, not Benavidez, but Berlanga, and the other guy. What's the other guy name?
Munguia.
Munguia, bro. Those guys, that ain't gonna, he didn't have enough activity. The last time I saw Canelo that would beat, I think, this Crawford was Plant. Now that Canelo come cutting the ring, all throwing combination to the head and to the body, active. It's gonna be a fight. It's gonna be a hell of a fight. You know what I mean? And I still think I give Crawford a chance even then. So that's what type of talent I think Crawford is. He's definitely gonna have to get used to that power. If he can take Canelo power, he gonna win the fight.
That's kind of the question of it, right?
If he can take that power, he gonna win the fight.
Tarver's takes.
Tarver's take.
Yeah, there it is.
Day.
Appreciate you, sir.
Right.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.